Hi, this is Darin Mangum again. I thought I would post another video. Another question I get a lot is, what's the real bottom line when it comes to the Jobs Act? There's so much press out there, so much information, and a lot of misinformation, half-truths about the Jobs Act. I get calls all the time about it. Hey, now can I raise money from anybody? Um, the bottom line for the Jobs Act is that basically there's two titles that came out of the Jobs Act. I mean, it's a long. I could make several videos just about the Jobs Act by itself, but the bottom line is the two new exemptions that arose out of the Jobs Act under Title II, which is the 506C, which I've talked about on some other videos, which now allowed for public solicitation of accredited investors. Um, a lot of my clients have been using it. A lot of them have been successful raising capital using it. I would refer you to the videos that talk about specifically 506C. But the other exemption that arose out of the Jobs Act is under Title III is the new crowdfunding regulation CF, as it's called, is the new crowdfunding rule that. Again, it sounds really exciting on its face, but some of the limitations of Regulation CF or Title III of the crowdfunding statute or the Jobs Act is that it's capped at $1 million. A lot of my clients need to raise more than $1 million. Plus, you can't do it yourself. In other words, you can't go to investors. You have to either go through a portal that's affiliated with a broker-dealer or a portal that is specifically registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Unlike, say, Title II or 506C, for example, if you have the ability and you have existing contacts, you can run that process yourself. You can advertise on your website and solicit for investors directly, as long as you have a reasonable belief that they're accredited. And of course, that as long as you verify that they're accredited, you're fine. Again, under the Title III of the Jobs Act, the Regulation CF, the crowdfunding statute, you're limited to $1 million, and you can't. Even if you did post something on your website, you'd have to refer them directly to one of these portals. And sometimes the portals, again, I'm not criticizing the portals. I mean, obviously they have their regulatory costs that they have to meet, especially if they're affiliated with a broker-dealer. Oftentimes you'll get, on top of any legal fees that you have to do to prepare the disclosure documents, you've got, they usually charge a due diligence fee. That can range $5,000 to $10,000 just to vet you and pre-approve you. And again, then there's no guarantee that they would actually raise money for you or even let you go ahead and register on their site, on their portal. So obviously, those are factors that that are important to look at. I mean, obviously, the big advantage of Regulation CF or the Title III of the Jobs Act is that you're able to bring in non-accredited investors, right? And so bringing in lots, but you also have to consider, okay, do you want the administrative burden of having, say I'm selling, if I raise that $1 million at $1,000 a pop, that's going to be a boatload of small investors that I may have to hold their hand and keep in contact with and all of that. So it's just, you really need to think through that. Another question I get is, well, if I'm doing a Title III offering, do I still need a PPM? And the answer is yes. You always need to provide a disclosure to investors of all the material facts about your business. And that goes the same for under Title II regulation or Rule 506C. That's really where, just because you're relying upon an exemption doesn't mean you can get away from the obligation to provide the investor with full disclosure, and that's really what the PPM is designed to do. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of differences, some contrast between those. Again, feel free to give me a call anytime on my cell phone, or shoot me an email, text me, and happy to go through that with you at no obligation. Anyway, I'll appreciate you watching, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.